Okay, so in this video, I will show you how to actually properly start a marketing agency from scratch as a beginner with no experience and no capital. And why I'm confident I can teach you how to do that? Well, that's because actually I did it myself. Almost 2 years ago, in 2023, I started my agency from complete scratch with no prior experience, being terrible at English. And I managed to scale that agency to six figures. My biggest month was around 20K per month. And I'm still running my agency till this day. So without speaking too much, let's go into the presentation. I'll show you how to do that. Now, when I say starting from scratch and when I say starting with no money, as you can see here in the title, I assume that you have at least some money saved up. And this is actually my first point. So before starting an agency, before even thinking about this idea, about this crazy idea in your brain, please make sure you have at least like a few bucks in your bank account or in your pocket because like well yeah, that's cool, and you can't like that's the business model that you can technically start with no capital. Like you still will need to take care of the basic business expenses and also making sure you don't live on the street and like under the bridge or something. So when I first started, I believe my bank account was about 300 bucks, something like that, which is why I actually put it here because you'll need to buy a domain, you'll need to buy a professional email, you need to have handle the be able to handle the phone fees from high level or whatever you'll use to call your leads, Wi-Fi, etc. Right? So make sure you save at least some money, and if you don't have this money, please go get a job, work at at Uber Eats, and like make sure you save this money. I actually worked at Uber Eats to be able to do that. So make sure you have some money saved up, and then the second step that most people actually don't like, I don't really hear a lot of people saying that, is I would actually recommend to reach out to your closest network. Because look, this is just the absolute lowest hanging fruit that you can have. And I can bet you, unless you're absolutely like socially dysfunctional and you don't have any friends or family or whatsoever, like I can bet you that like in your network or in the network of your network, there is at least one business that they or that actually need some help with their digital marketing, just marketing overall, right? So that's just the lowest hanging fruit. And to give you like a bit of a personal story, because that's actually how I got my first ever client. So when I first stumbled upon and across this whole like idea of running an agency, actually let me make myself smaller. Actually, let me make myself bigger again. What I did, like literally the second day I learned about that because I knew like, okay, I will not want to stuck in this like analysis paralysis for another like 5 months before I take any action. So the next day when I found out like about the agency model, I went ahead and I pitched my first like potential customer. And what I did is back then I was working a 9 to 5 as a receptionist in a hotel, and it was just a no-brainer for me to go to them and say, "Hey, yo guys, I see that you can use some help with marketing because like they were pretty terrible at it. They actually closed a few months later." Um, and like I can help you get some leads and get some marketing because this is just a person I know, so it was pretty easy for me to pitch the business owner. They know me, and so this is what I will recommend to do as well. Now, later down the line, you will need to have a niche to be able to see at least some level of success in the agency field. However, it doesn't matter as much if you are a total beginner. You gotta eat what you kill, and so reaching out to your network, your friends, colleagues, people from school, people you know, in my opinion, people like your friends on Facebook, right? Is just basically the lowest, like probably the lowest hanging fruit that you can have and you will ever get in this whole field. And trust me, it's very important to start taking this action quickly so that then you can adjust, iterate, and make your the stuff you do better. Because most people, what they'll do is they'll learn about the agency model and they'll go and watch videos on YouTube for another 6 months before they send their first ever message. Now, you need to take action almost immediately. That's absolutely crucial. So this is what I recommend. Ask your partners, friends, um, parents of your friends, your employer, just hit up everyone you know, and I can almost guarantee you'll be able to find at least one business in your close network that needs some help with marketing. You could actually start and sign as a client, even on a free basis, because right now what matters is getting the experience, getting the client. So then obviously you offer them marketing services. So you analyze their business to a degree that you can because you probably can't do it properly because you don't have any experience, but that's fine. Right, that's completely fine because like this is why you are watching this video. So offer them help with creating content, design, running ads, SEO, whatever it might be. Look, at this point, it doesn't really matter that much. What matters is getting the first client and getting this first experience of working with the client that maybe even pays you some money that you will need to manage expectations, etc. Trust me, this first client, even if they pay you nothing, which was the case for me, they actually screwed me. It still was. It's like it's such a great experience that I don't even mind them screwing me because, to be honest, it taught me so much. It taught me how to run ads, how to manage clients, how to manage crazy clients, how to handle people that threat to sue you legally, like all kinds of shit. So make sure you take actions quickly. Now, once you do that, and hopefully at this point you should have a client, but if not, look, that's completely fine. Uh, like obviously, I don't expect for you to get clients as soon as possible, and also you need to. What the fuck is that? I'm sorry for that, guys. So what I'll recommend to do next is go ahead and select a niche, right? So basically, a niche is a group of people that share similar traits that you can categorize by whatever trait it might be. And why it's important is for a couple of reasons. First of all, because you need to make sure that you are a specialist in a very specific thing. Because it's way better to be a specialist rather than a generalist, especially right now, these days, because there are tons of agencies and people don't trust agencies anymore. So it's important for you to be expert in a very particular field. And that's actually what allowed me to sign my first clients, proper clients, not the one I talked to you about. This was just because I told them, look, I specialize just in marketing for interior design companies, which was a pretty niche. It still is pretty niche. And people are like, well, I had a few calls like this already, but like I trust you because you do work with this kind of businesses specifically. And so your niche is far more important than the service you offer because your service, like it might change over time. What is important is what kind of service benefits your niche. So niche always comes first. And so just a few rules of thumb that I would recommend to follow. So make sure it's big enough, make sure decision makers are fairly easy to reach because otherwise it'll be pretty complicated for you to start. And ideally is for you to know at least a couple of successful agencies in this field because at this point you want to eliminate the variable of, okay, does it work, does it not work because the niche is bad or does it not work because I suck? Right? So you just need to eliminate this question, which is why I would recommend to go for a proven niche. Because if it's a proven niche and you don't make it work, it means you suck and you can get better. But otherwise, it might be the case that the niche is actually bad. I know there is no such thing as a bad niche, but there are definitely some niches that are way, way harder than the other ones. So choose your niche wisely. Then you should decide on your service. Now, your service does not matter as much when you're starting out, just like pick whatever you want. Come up with a hypothesis around what you think will work and then market test it. Because you probably will not hit a home run right away, but this is fine because you will tweak and iterate down the line, which is why it's important for you to select a niche, and your niche is way more important than your service. My personal favorite is paid ads, and that's for a few reasons. First of all, it's quite, I would say it's easier to sell because clients can technically see a tangible ROI. And the second, it's also easier to retain clients because once again, people want to get everything from your service and they want to get it fast. And so paid ads is just a vehicle that allows your clients to see the ROI sometimes within the first months, sometimes even within the first couple of weeks. I've even seen as low as 5 days. One of my clients closed a 5K client after 5 days of running ads. It could be that quick. Which is why, once again, you can charge higher for that and you can retain clients for longer, but you can do content, you can do SEO, it doesn't matter as much. Just pick what you want. Now, from there, the next very crucial step will be for you to choose an outreach channel or ideally a few of them. Because it's easier to master something when you only focus on one thing. So, you can choose only one outreach method when starting out. However, during the beginning stages of an agency, you literally don't have any other things to do aside from outreach. Because at this point, this is absolutely crucial thing, the most crucial thing that you should do when you're starting out, you don't have any clients, is making sure you put yourself in front of the potential customers in your niche. This is the number one and usually the only thing that you should be focusing on at that stage. And this is why, in my opinion, it's fine to have more than one channel. So my personal, the ones I started with were IGDMs. I kind of still use them till this day. They're very, very cost efficient. It costs almost nothing to send them, but you can get some clients this way. Cold calling is pretty good because it just kind of makes you better as a human, I think. Cold email is my personal favorite. I'm doing it right now, sending about 1,300 emails per day. Gets me around 10 leads per day as well. So that's up to you, but your goal right now should be constantly asking yourself a question: how can I send more pieces of outreach than I'm doing right now? And how can I make them better? This, trust me, guys, that's the only thing you should focus on, especially when you are below 10, probably even 20K per month, but let's say 10K per month. That's really the only task that you should master, is making sure that you get your calendar full and you get appointments on your calendar. At this point, you may ask, what about service delivery? And let me say something controversial. Client results don't matter if you have zero clients. And this is the number one reason why 99% of agencies fail, because they get stuck in the analysis paralysis and solving the problems that they don't have yet. Instead, what you need to do is, especially at the beginning stages, you only need to put your foot in front of another. You need to have laser focus, and you only need to solve the problem that you have, which is right now, nobody fucking knows about your existence. There is no amount of businesses online in your niche that know that you could even possibly do something for them. So why would you think about service delivery? Now, my recommendation, because obviously you still will need to understand service delivery to a basic degree, but only do that in the evening once you are done with your daily outreach. That's really the key for success. So set the outreach KPI and get to work. Commit to a specific number of outreach sent per day. It should be at least, like the borderline, at least 100. And look, like, once again, outreach is the only thing you should do at this point. If you're doing this full time, and if you're not sending outreach for like 6-8 hours a day, what are you doing? Right? Because 100 messages on Instagram will probably take you an hour to send. Because I've actually tracked that, right? So if you can do 500, fucking do 500, right? That's really what matters the most right now. And this way you will start building up the momentum that is required to experience exponential results. And then you need to track your data diligently, and you can't absolutely miss this step, because our goal is to go from making emotional decisions, like most people do, to making data-driven decisions, which means every single day, as soon as you start your work, you log in and you fill out your tracking sheet. This is the one I use, and this is the one my students use. But it can really be just a basic spreadsheet where you just log in, okay, how many emails you sent, how many replies you got, how many intros you booked, how many intros you've taken, etc. Because this way you will be able to see, okay, is it working? And if it's not working, I apologize. If it's not working, why isn't it work? And if it's not working, why isn't it working? So then you can actually obviously change that. Then once you start doing that, and if you do the steps properly, obviously we don't go too in depth. You can see other videos on this channel. We don't go too depth into this in depth into the specifics. But if you do it properly, you should start getting positive responses from your messages. And so at this point, what you need to do is you need to call every single one of them. I know most people just tell you to send them the calendar link and let them book and let them show it to Zoom. Don't do it this way. Because right now, once again, you just need to turn yourself into a savage and just freaking send as many messages as possible and then do as many calls as freaking possible. So once you get a positive response, what you do is you just go and find the phone number of this business, whether it's online, on the website, on the Instagram page, and you call them. And you say, hey, it's Arseny here. We just spoke via DMs. It was about 5 more projects. Does that ring a bell? What was it that attracted your attention? Tell me more about your business. And then you basically just walk them through the intro script. And this is crucial because this way you'll obviously have more responses. And at this point, responses and making sure your calendar is full with demos is literally the only activity that matters for you at this stage, right? So once you take the intro, once you speak with them, you schedule them for a demo. And only if you see you can help them, means if your solution matches their problem. And then this is just the part I would personally recommend. So once you get on a Zoom and you have your presentation and you tell them, hey, I can do this marketing for you, I would suggest to pitch them a setup fee. So what that means is you walk them through the process of like what you can do for them. You ask them some questions about the business. Once again, we don't go in this video, we don't go into the specifics. You can see other videos on my channel once again. And then at the end, you just tell them, hey, it will be, for us to get started on this, it will be $300 plus you handle the ad spend. How do you want to proceed from there? You don't have a business if you don't have customers, which means you need to start closing some. And so in my opinion, setup fees are just a great way to start for a few reasons. First of all is you learn sales. And you can ask any agency that you find in this space that's scaled past 50, 100K per month. And every single one will tell them that the only and the most important skill that they master to be able to get there is sales. And so once you start actually offering people some services in exchange for money, you will start getting objections, right? You will start getting rejection. And this is why, and this is how you will actually get better at sales. so that later down the line you can raise your prices, you can start changing monthly retainers, paid in fulls, and actually get better. The second thing is why I recommend to start with like some small setup fees is because some people will actually just say yes to that, because a lot of them will be like, you know what, I mean, let's give this guy or girl a shot because it's just $500. Worst case, I lose $500. Best case, I can, get some more work. So it's a no-brainer, which means you'll actually get some clients. Once again, keep in mind the most important part at this point for you to start getting clients. But then you also obviously get some cash. And so at this point, once again, your number one objective is getting clients no matter what it takes, even if it's working for free. So like if you pitch them something and they don't want to do it for whatever reason, and you can't really handle this objection, look, put your ego aside and offer them work for free. Because at this point, what matters is not getting rich, is making sure you get clients, you get more accounts to manage, you get more ad spend to manage, you get better at running ads, you get better at running client expectations. You will get some social proof because some of the clients inevitably will win because what you do will actually work for them. And you'll get a testimonial that you can leverage to close more clients, right? So no matter what it takes, your number one priority is get clients no matter what. Obviously, if you can start getting some cash in the meantime, that's like perfect. But if not, look, that's how I did it, right? My first 5 clients paid me nothing, zero. I just like, look, I'll do it for you for free and you don't pay me anything. It was literally like that. So once you close a few clients, I would suggest to upgrade to retainers. Retainers is when they pay you a monthly fee of like, I don't know, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 per month. Because, obviously it's always good to have some monthly recurring revenue. So try to book as many demo calls as physically possible at this point, because once you actually start getting demos and once you start closing them, all you can do is you can just increase it and like get more, increase the volume. Volume negates luck. And even if you suck at sales, you will be able to close some clients just from the pure volume standpoint, right? Because once again, dials equals dollars and volume negates luck. So after you get your first 5-ish clients, as already said, I'll start pitching retainers, start building up MRR, and happy days. And then you should find ways to send more outreach, right? So obviously, the most, like, probably the best outreach method that you can have for the agency is paid ads, right? But then you should constantly be asking yourself the question: how can I make it more, and how can I make it better? So that's pretty simple. And always make sure you only I don't know why it says send, but you should send. Well, I probably was as cooked as AIM. When I was writing that, I probably was as cooked as AIM right now. It's been like about 12 hours of me working today, almost all of it doing calls, so I'm fucking cooked. But look, guys, just recording this video for you. So only change one variable at a time, and then commit to doing so for at least 6 months. At least, right? And you're probably, oh shit, I thought it will take me 6 days, or I thought it will take me 6 weeks because this person online told me that. Well, that's bullshit. Fuck people that tell you if you don't hit 10K per month in 30 days, you're a bot. They're full of shit. They're trying to sell you their stuff and they don't care about you. It does not work like that. You should have realistic expectations, because otherwise you'll get discouraged very quickly and you'll just fucking fail. So that's just not an option for us. Everything in life that is worth something takes huge amounts of effort and time to master. So commit to doing so for at least 6 months, until you start thinking, should I try drop shipping now? Should I change my niche? Or maybe should I do this fucking Amazon FBA thing? Maybe I should do some short form content, or maybe I should become a YouTube influencer. Before you start doing that and before you start making those judgments, commit to doing so for at least 6 months. So you choose a niche, choose your service, you choose your outreach channels. I sound like this guy from this movie.
Choose life, choose a job, choose a career, choose a family, choose a fucking big television, choose washing machines, cars, compact displays, and electric.
Anyway, so you choose a niche, you choose your service, outreach methods, you start sending messages diligently, at least 100 per day. You track your data, you book them on a sales call, you take the sales call, you get better at sales, you start closing some clients, you start building up momentum, you make money, you get bitches, you buy Lambos, happy days. Thank you for watching this video, bye.